the incredible Will Huckabee. And I'm joined as usual by the hardest working producer in wrestling podcast history, my homeboy Killer Kev. What's going on, Kev?
Not a whole lot going on this week, Will. I think it was a little bit calmer in the wrestling world this week.
A little bit, not a whole lot, a little bit. There's still, of course, it's controversy as usual wrestling. Real funny, quick note, I feel like we've talked a lot in the last 2 weeks, Kev.
Little bit. I think you kind of got some work in this week on the podcasting end of things.
I did, man. I really put it down for podcasting last week. Or I guess you could say the last 8 to 10 days, man. This is show number 4 in less than 10 days. So, yeah. I don't know. Speaking about the wrestling world being calm, the whole Jinder Mahal situation. Congratulations to Jinder Mahal, the new WWE heavyweight champion and stuff, man. Caused a lot of controversy. Of course, people complaining, saying that he didn't deserve it because a couple of months ago he was losing to Finn Balor and everybody else on TV, and how are we supposed to believe that he's championship material? First of all, people, and this is just my opinion. First of all, people, this is professional wrestling. We all know that it is a performance. We all know that it's scripted, that the outcome is predetermined. So nobody actually wins anything. Nobody actually, and me, myself, I can disagree with when people say, well, he doesn't deserve it. He's worked just as hard as anybody else in that roster to make it to that level. And now he's finally had a chance to get the ball and run with it. Whether you say he's the champion because WWE is trying to break into the India market or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that's the reason, that's a smart business decision on behalf of, Triple H and Vince McMahon. If they're trying to break into one of the biggest markets in the world, of course, if you have somebody on your roster who speaks fluent Punjabi, of course you want that guy out there in the front. To me, it is no difference than New Japan starting New Japan, a new chapter or a new division of New Japan here in America and stuff, and they're having Kenny Omega as the spokesperson. If you have somebody, you need to use them, period. Not a big fan of all the racism and all the racist comments I've seen on social media. Kev, I really feel like I shouldn't be surprised and I should be used to it by now.
No, you shouldn't.
But I'm really not.
No, you should never be used to racism. Ever. That frustrates me.
Well, when I say I should be used to it, the fact that people would make racist comments and stuff about his ethnicity and stuff like that should not surprise me. I should have expected that. But I really didn't. For the most part, I would like to think, even here in the South, that wrestling fans are a little bit more tolerable than the common person, than non-wrestling fans. I would like to think, that wrestling fans are different. They're just like, hey, you like wrestling? I like wrestling. I don't care what you look like or where you're from. We have something in common. Let's be friends. But it turns out that that's not the case once again.
Yeah, this is true.
It just really bugs me,
You know what? I tell you what really bugs me. And
what's that?
And this is no shade on Jinder Mahal in general. My personal opinion on you asked what my opinion on this was the other day on Facebook, and I told you telling me, or thinking I should be upset that Vince McMahon put the world heavyweight title on Jinder Mahal is like telling me that I should be upset because Donald Trump puts ketchup on an overcooked steak. I mean, what? I mean, really, what am I going to get upset about? Because whatever, it doesn't matter in the end. Just like Donald Trump is going to make his own decisions that suit him, Vince McMahon's going to do whatever tastes good to him. And if Jinder Mahal is the flavor of the month for him, so be it. I mean, fine and dandy. WWE's an overcooked steak, in my opinion. Why do I care? If you still enjoy it, enjoy it. I'm not going to be the one that sits here and try to take away your joy if you want to chew on that hide all day. Fine by me. But what really disturbs me is Jinder Mahal. I'll kind of side a little bit on the argument that Jinder Mahal didn't deserve it, because I don't think he did work harder than anybody else to get it. I think that the only thing he did was go stab himself in the ass with a pen and fill himself up on some injectables, and that's what got Vince McMahon's attention once again. And what really pisses me off about it is, no pun intended, we're going to go through this cycle again where the roided up wrestler, and don't tell me Jinder Mahal isn't roided up. Don't tell me he's all natural. Motherfucker, we know that's not true. We see the evidence. The back knee is there. That doesn't appear out of nowhere on grown adult men without a reason. But
I would not say that he's clean.
Yeah, you cannot say that he is clean at all. And that's going to be the problem. Because now we got this roided up guy who's only going to be champion so long as he doesn't get tested. As soon as that random test comes up, his pimple is getting popped. He's going on a 30-day suspension. He's getting stripped of the belt. And what other plans WWE writers had for that belt, whatever storyline he's in, it's fucked.
Let's be honest, Kev. They're not gonna randomly drug test their champion and stuff. I mean, and once again, just being honest, I mean, Triple H is definitely, you know what I'm saying, using some performance enhancing drugs. Definitely Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is 70 years old and is appearing on the cover of Muscle and Fitness. So we definitely know that he is on the gas and stuff. Nobody, I don't think that they ever really test their top guys. I think the only reason why Brock Lesnar got popped is because of the UFC. He popped positive on the UFC test, and of course, now they have to he popped positive on the UFC test. We've got to suspend the rest. I feel like, in my opinion, that's the only reason why they popped Brock Lesnar. But all of that was out, and of course, we both know, and it's no huge secret in wrestling, that Vince likes his wrestlers to be big and muscular and jacked and stuff. And the bigger and more muscular and jacked you are, the more Vince is going to look at you. I really hope that, Jinder Mahal, if he is on anything, and I'm not going to say he is, I'm not going to say he's not, but if he is on something, I hope that he is under a doctor's care, that he's taking care of himself, that he's doing everything that he needs to do to stay healthy and to not shorten his lifespan.
My whole stance on the steroid thing is really, I don't give a shit. As long as you're not doing harm to somebody else, put whatever you want in yourself if it makes you feel better. I mean, that's entirely up to you. I'm not clowning on them for the steroids. It's just the fact that, there is this policy in place that athletes are supposed to be clean, and and time and again we see so many guys who put themselves through the work day in and day out to look like a WWE superstar, and then you get a guy like Jinder Mahal who is taking a shortcut and gets rewarded for it. That's what pisses me off more than anything.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's not just in WWE. It's not just in these top indies. It's on the local level too. Guys that happen, and they, of course, people that they call it getting on the gas. Guys who pull the trigger, get on the gas, whatever you want to call it, who make a drastic change in their body, because wrestling is a visual business. Wrestling is a very body.
It's a visual art
and stuff. Huh?
It's a visual art.
Exactly. Guys who look better get pushed more. That's just the way it is. And I mean, I would like to think that, me myself, I would say that if the playing field was level and then nobody was on steroids, nobody was taking anything but supplements and working out and doing cardio like crazy, then guys out here who are big, such as myself or whatever, would have no excuse to not be in shape. But when you know that the playing field is not level, especially at the WWE level, and you know that all the top guys are doing it. And let's just be honest, the majority of the top guys are on the gas. If you want to make more money, if you want to go up the card, that's what you got to do. My biggest argument, and I've seen somebody on Facebook post it, was that nobody had a problem when Heath Slater went from getting beat up by all these WWE legends and stuff week in, week out on Raw, and then next thing you know, so they have the brand split, him and Rhino are the tag team champions. Nobody complained about that. He basically went from enhancement talent to the WWE tag team champion. Same difference that happened with Jinder Mahal. He was quote unquote enhancement talent. Bomb of the pile, getting beat up by everybody. And then next thing you know, he's at the top of the card and everybody's mad about it. I hope that most of the people, I would like to think that most of the people are just mad because of that reason and not because of his race. But obviously with social media, most people can't shut up. And now with the time that we live in, people are a lot more comfortable making inflammatory statements based on somebody's gender or race or religion, and that's a damn shame.
Yeah, although I will point out one thing. Who did Heath Slater beat to get a title?
Who was it? American Alpha they beat in the finals? Or was it the Vaudevillains? I can't remember who it was.
And that's kind of the point. Who did Jinder Mahal have to beat?
Randy Orton.
Right. So that's kind of where some of the rub comes from, is who Heath Slater beat, conceivably beatable. Jinder Mahal, with his record and the way they build him up, inconceivable. If WWE had put in the work and had Jinder Mahal rise up from mid-carder to top talent by getting a steady string of wins and by having him beat guys at his level and then advance up a little bit more and beat guys, just continue beating guys that were just a little bit better than him and building up to Randy Orton, then putting a title on Jinder Mahal would be credible. But he went from nobody to somebody in 30 days.
Well, I look at it, like a buddy of mine down in Atlanta put. I was a huge fan of Paul Heyman's booking, especially at ECW, because, the whole thing at ECW is that on any given night, anybody can beat anybody, within reason. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can lose, anybody can win. And that's not just a professional wrestler, that's in sports also. Would fans be just as mad if, out of nowhere, what's the worst football team in the NFL? We'll say the Lions. Or the Raiders. The Raiders are consistently one of the worst teams in the NFL. Consistently. Would fans be pissed off if they go from being at the bottom of the pile this season to next season they win the Super Bowl? It's a Cinderella story. All the things came into place. These guys busted their ass. They worked really hard. And on any given day, on any Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. That's how I looked at the Jinder Mahal story. I was like, well, maybe they're going to the whole point where, on any given day, anybody can beat anybody. That's how I look at it.
And that's great, and that's valid, because the Raiders have 20 weeks to prove that they have the ability to go from nobody to somebody. They've got 20 weeks to beat teams that they shouldn't be beating. They got 20 weeks to show that they are superstars. We didn't get that with Jinder Mahal. But you know what?
Right. Well, he had a couple weeks. He won the number one. He won the number one contendership. You had a couple of weeks to brood over that, and then this past Sunday, bam, there you go on Backlash. There you go.
Yeah, the underdog story just doesn't work like that. But here's my bottom line on Jinder Mahal, and somebody pointed this out on Twitter, and the main reason I'm not really bitching about it at all, at least Jinder Mahal shows up on Raw every week.
There you go.
He's there on TV every week. He's not a part-timer.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of out of nowhere, people coming out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, our guest tonight, is the epitome of a 5 to 10 year overnight success. Hey, Kev, do you want to give my guest for tonight a call?
Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, in the vein of the topic in the same vein of the topic that me and Kev were talking about, our guest tonight, an amazing wrestler, somebody who I had the pleasure of meeting 2-3 years ago, seemingly out of nowhere, came out of seemingly came out of nowhere. And now he can be found up and down the East Coast, Indiana, Idaho, New York, Florida, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. His accolades are the greatest accolades ever. He is ECW original New Jack's favorite wrestler. He is Sammy Callahan, the Space Cat, Sammy Callahan's favorite wrestler. And Cody Rhodes said in front of a crowd of 800 people that this man is the closest to Dusty Rhodes on the independents right now. True story, seen it live myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you White Mike.
Oh, what's up, baby? How y'all doing? How y'all living for the city?
Look, Gordo, first of all, I want to go ahead and ask the question, man. How long have you actually been wrestling? Where'd you get your start at?
Man, I've been wrestling for 10 long-ass, hard, and stank years, man. Started in Cherokee way back in the day, like 2007. Man, I banged a lot of rats, too, so you want to talk about that. That's normally where I got my start at. It's banging dirty rats, brother.
I'm gonna
the real training begins.
That's the real training begins with the rats, baby. If you ask Jock Sampson, he'll probably tell you that's true, actually. People, say, like I said, I don't want to use the term, but I've heard the term used in regards to you, that you're an overnight success. That out of nowhere, you start off in Cherokee, North Carolina, doing the independence there, and then out of nowhere, you just happen to be everywhere. Everywhere we turn, there's White Mike. If you're not in a singles match, you're also in the tag team match with a great friend of the show, Mr. PWI 500, Timmy Lou Redden and stuff, as part of the tag team, the Gymnasties.
Hell yeah, I call him Sexy Lou Redden.
I
don't know what. Am I allowed to say things like that on this show? Can I cuss?
You are totally allowed. Yes, we had Rip Rogers on the show, on the earlier incantation of this show. And,
you had Rip Rogers, and goddamn, brother. Fuckity, fuck.
And you're still about 100 behind.
I'm sure.
What do you have to say to people who say that you're an overnight success, man?
I say you a goddamn lie, man. I've been doing this for many fucking nights. I ain't no goddamn overnight success, man. I put in the work and grinded hard for what seemed like was an eternity, man. Broke my body, blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, I got 2 kids. I missed birthdays, and, I made a lot of sacrifices to be a pro wrestler because I've always wanted to be a pro wrestler. That's my shit. That's everything to me.
Now,
but, I kind of did, come up, out of nowhere. Because, I did a lot of damn flea market and armory shows for so long. I never wanted to branch out because I guess I was a little bitch. But once I did, man, I was like, damn, I want more of this,
Oh, trust me, I know.
Man.
Like, the first time I saw you was at Firestar Pro Wrestling in Greensboro at the Boys and Girls Club. Do you remember that?
I think so, yes. I don't think you really liked me, but you liked my NWA shirt.
I did. Ladies and gentlemen, the first time I met our guests and stuff, it was like, oh, it's White Mike. And I was like, what kind of fucking name is that? Like,
you gave me the look everybody else gave me, like, who the fuck is this white motherfucker with the NWA shirt on, walking around here talking shit? Like, who is he? What has he done?
Exactly. But you're right. I love the NWA shirt. I was like, oh, man. Like, that's a badass shirt, bro. I'm like, okay, well, at least you like good music. Like,
yeah.
You're not listening to Lil Yachty or 22 Savage or something like that.
I don't do shit like that, man. It's Pac and Biggie and Jay-Z and fucking Eazy-E and all them. This new shit, I can't do it.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, like, the whole White Mike thing, it's not really a gimmick. That's just who you are. Am I correct?
Yeah, it really is, man. Like, I grew up hard. I grew up in the streets in North Charleston, South Carolina, fucking projects, ghetto, whatever you want to call it, man. People always call me White Mike. It was before the Wayans brothers. It was before fucking any other White Mike was around. I feel like I am the White Mike, and you fucking test me on that. We'll see what's up.
Oh, man. So, okay, the robe. I'm going to ask you. The robe, the NWA shirt, like, was that just things that you thought of yourself that, hey, you know what, I'm going to go out here and put an NWA shirt because I like NWA, and I'm going to put on this robe with, like, the leopard print lining and stuff because nobody else is doing it? Or was that, like, a really thought-out process?
Yeah, it really wasn't. I won the robe in a dice game from a Honky Tonk Wayne Fair, summer of '92. That's shoot. And it's always been in my bag. So I was like, I'm going to put on an NWA shirt, put on this robe, and I'm going to start shaking my nips, grabbing tips, and getting lit, Daddy. And then I just decided to do it. You know, come out some Rick James. I mean, it's just been a party ever since.
Now, your first big, I guess, I don't want to use the word break, but I'll say the first big break where everybody really started noticing you was the match with New Jack. People knew who you were beforehand. You've been tearing up North Carolina, the Indies in North Carolina and stuff, and traveling, doing a lot of traveling. But the match with New Jack is what really put you on the map for everybody. How did that come across? How did that come to be and stuff?
Literally, I was off work. I think the show was on a Friday. I don't know exactly. It was either Friday or Sunday, but I was off work. And I called the promoter, and I was like, hey, man, you know, got anything for me? He's like, well, we got an opening, but, you know, we're trying to figure out what to do with New Jack. I was like, what? I was like, man, fuck that. Put me with New Jack, put that on the internet, and watch that shit fucking break. And I feel like it pretty much did. I mean, it lived up to expectations. I got a lot of shit in against New Jack. I think I hit a 450 in that match. I can't remember. But, yeah, I killed it.
You didn't. I hit a 450.
I think I got a punch and a whip reversal. So, you know, I'll take that.
Yes. Now, the promos leading up to that match, man, were, oh, my God. Like, if anybody ever follows you, they could say that one of your biggest strengths would definitely be your mic work and stuff, man. And that promo against New Jack, when you filmed it and you sent it off to be aired and stuff, what was going through your mind?
I was hoping that motherfucker wasn't going to stab me on sight because I just randomly did it, and I was probably in my drawers, in my room, in my robes, talking shit about New Jack, which not many people will do, let alone a fucking white person. You feel me? Like, oh my gosh, nobody talks shit on New Jack. But apparently I did it, and that shit, like, it become like a legend in the streets type situation in the wrestling world.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I remember hearing New Jack tell the story about when he first saw that promo, that video and stuff, and he was like, one of his buddies told him about it first before he ever saw it. Was like, hey, Jack, there's this white dude named White Mike just put a promo on you. You need to watch this shit. And Jack said that he watched it and died laughing, and said he watched it like 5 times in a row. He couldn't believe it was so good. When you hear, you know,
it's such an honor.
I was about to say, when you get a response like that from somebody of his caliber, how does that make you feel?
It made me feel incredible because, I mean, I grew up watching Jack. I love wrestling. I love every facet of wrestling I can get my hands on. And me and my boys, we always watched ECW. And, you know, a lot of people think New Jack's is this brawler, but nah, man. He was trained by fucking Rock and Roll Express, taking on the road with Tracy Smothers. Like, so he knows how to work. And I was just, you know, I was blown away by the kind of shit he had said because I ain't gonna lie, I was scared to fucking death. It's New Jack.
So yeah, I had the match. It was a great match, man. I personally, actually, and I very rarely do this, but I actually came to the show and paid for a ticket because I was like, White Mike is gonna die, and all I really care about is the shoot video that New Jack is gonna do right after this match, after he stabs White Mike like 15 times.
That would have been great. He killed me dead. Fucking my kids would have been set, so that's straight with me. I was fine with it.
Now, like I said earlier in the introduction, you fast, very fast. You become like everybody's favorite wrestler. Like everybody loves White Mike. Everybody has a White Mike story. Everybody wants to see White Mike. After 10 years of being in the business, man, do you feel like you've made it?
Not quite. You know, I'm still fighting financially, you know, to make these wrestling trips and to pay my bills and my damn child support that never stops. I mean, I haven't made it yet. I want more. You know, it's crazy. You said the match with New Jack really put me on the map. I felt like, you know, I had a match with Ethan Case at Firestar that really, I felt like, turned people's heads and started getting people to look at me. And, yeah, man, I want more. I want, you know, I want more. You know, I want to face top tier guys. And me and Timmy Lou Ray got the Gymnasty Boys going. We want to face the best tag teams around. You know, I want more. I'm hungry for more.
Yeah. Now, like I said, New Jack loves you. Sammy Callahan loves you. I've got to ask you, Sammy
I want
Callahan
more as
the
I
gimmick.
lay on this couch and scratch my ass.
Yes. Sammy Callahan sees the gimmick. You come out, you work a match and stuff. You come back to the locker room. There's Sammy Callahan. What did Sammy Callahan say to you when you came back into the locker room?
Literally, I was setting up my 8x10s, and I walked away, and Rockstar Pro and Ethan Case was like, "Yo, man, Sammy seen your 8x10s, and he said he fucking loved you." So I was like, "Really? Me?" And then, just started talking to him. I'm the type of guy that I'm not scared to approach my favorite wrestler or a wrestler and just start talking mad shit, about random shit. More importantly, just like, some sexual references, male or female. I don't give a fuck. And I think they're just like, this motherfucker's so goddamn ballsy. Like, what would he do in a ring? Let's bring him. Let's book him. But Sammy loved me. So he loved my gimmick, and he loves my finish. So, anything he says is incredible to me.
Now, I like what you just said. You're not afraid to actually just walk up and talk to some people, because we both know that, rule of thumb or whatever in professional wrestling, if you're one of the boys, you can't be a mark for the business. They don't want you. You can't. Somebody like Sammy Callahan or New Jack or whoever's in the locker room, they don't want you. They're like, oh, you can't go up and talk to them. You need to leave them alone. Don't ask them for a picture. Don't talk to them unless they talk to you.
While they're there.
Exactly. I was going to ask you, how did you feel? How do you feel about something like that?
I look at it as I don't know if I'll ever be in a locker room with those said people again. So I'm either going to make them laugh, or I'm gonna pick their brain and be annoying as fuck till they're like, all right, guy, get the fuck out of here, And I just try to soak as much knowledge as I can from anybody that's that's made it big, or not necessarily made it big, just traveling, doing more than I am. I want to know how they're doing it, and that's really it, man. Just don't be scared. Just go out on a limb.
10 years ago, if I came up to White Mike 10 years ago, before his rat banging career shot off like it has now, and told him that Cody Rhodes, the youngest son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, would tell him face to face that he was the closest thing to Dusty Rhodes in the independents that he had ever seen, and that he wanted a match with White Mike the next time he came to North Carolina, what would you have said?
I would say, go ahead and pass me that pipe, because you obviously smoking, Cuddy. Because I wouldn't have believed that shit. Like, go ahead and pass that shit to me, bro, because you must be on some shit. Because, I would have never thought that would happen.
I already know the answer, but for our listeners and fans and stuff, what was going through your mind? He's cutting that promo. He had just had a really great match with John Scholar at PWX, Pro Wrestling Experience. I want to say that was in, Shelby, North Carolina that night?
I do believe.
Yes, in Shelby, North Carolina. He had just had an incredible match, main event match against John Scholar. He's cut a promo, and he says your name. He said, there's this one guy that's here that really caught my eye, White Mike. What's going through your mind when he starts talking about you?
I'll give you the whole setup, man. Like, okay, so I'm going out there, I'm packing up my shit, packing up my 8x10s, thumbing through and putting them in there. He's talking. He says, there's a guy I really want to face, and, that guy is White Mike. Fucking place goes up. Like, it went nuts. And it was just like one of those, like, over the show, like, I peeked my head up, like, what, me? And then fucking, I walked through the crowd like a dipshit, and I, like, tried to hop the rail and, like, almost slipped. So, like, honestly, I'm marking out, in a sense, because I was like, I didn't know that was going to happen. I was sitting there putting my shit up. I'm trying to go home, man. Fuck, I'm tired, And then he just called me out, and I was like, I want to hear what he's got to say. Call me in the ring. Fucking, I went to shake his hand. We two-sweeted instead, and, he said, at first he didn't know what my character was, but said, he watched me that night. He said, understand that you get it, you get it. Like, in the sense that I belong, and, he said I reminded him of his father, which is like, damn, it choked me up. So I'm sure I had some tears. I'm sure you can see me, a little gleam in my eye, because, that's hot shit, man. I grew up in WCW, NWA, and Dusty was the man. Dusty still is the man, so, fuck.
Oh, yeah, I was definitely, I definitely saw you. I think myself, along with the 800-plus people in the building, along with, an entire roster full of wrestlers. Some of them let's just be honest, some of them who were not happy that you had gotten that rub. all seen
sure.
that.
If I could have gone back and done it better, I would have parted the fucking Red Sea and I would have strutted all the way to the ring. But that was just a mark out moment, you know. It was really heartfelt. So people who didn't like it, you know, they can suck my dick. People, you know, I don't give a fuck. You know, you either like it or you don't. I loved it. So,
I was going to ask you, to your detractors who think that you're just a comedy gimmick.
You know, what's funny is, you know, a lot of people think I'm a comedy gimmick, but I can actually wrestle. You know, I wrestled for the first 8 years of my career, then I realized, you know, I can be funny and do less shit, but get over way more, you know, and save my body a little bit. But, I mean, I'm still willing to go all out no matter what.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestling Nerdcast. I'm your host, the incredible Real Huckabee, along with the hardest working producer in wrestling podcast history, Killer Kev. Today we have our guest, White Mike. Mike, I want to change topics now. I want to change subjects and stuff. I want to talk about the tag team thing going on. You and Timmy Lou-Ret, the Gym Nasty. How did that come about, man? The Gym Nasty Boys. How did that come about, man?
Well, we were like, in the car? I feel like it's more or less Timmy Lou's idea. He came up with the name, I feel like, and you know, we just want to see what we could do. And I'm the nasty part, of course. He's the gymnast, and you know, you got the Gymnasty Boys, and shit, we'll run up in your town and put it down, and run up in your place and smack you back. You know, I feel like we want to change the tag team scene. We're not just, you know, a comedy tag team. We can legit go.
Well, both of you guys are definitely very accomplished singles wrestlers and stuff. Which do you like more, man? Do you like being a singles wrestler? Do you like the tag team thing? Which one do you currently? Which one do you like?
I love every aspect of wrestling, whether it's tag team, singles, 6-man. Hell, I'll take a battle royal. One time, you know, I got over in a battle royal with 30 other dudes, and Jeff Jarrett said I was the only one that stuck out in that. You know, it's just however you present me. I'm just plug and play, brother. I'm just going to go out there and do what I can. And Timmy Lee is an incredible athlete, and he can do whatever he wants. He puts his mind to it. It's done for.
Now, people who follow you on social media and stuff, man, and you know, if you're a wrestling fan, if anybody's a wrestling fan, especially, and they have a love for the independent wrestling, they should definitely follow you. Do you travel in your usual traveling buddies, man, or some of the most eclectic, eccentric guys on the indies right now? Usually, go ahead and tell us who's usually in the car. You know, White Mike's about to hit the road and stuff and do a 3, 4, 5 day trip. Who's in the car with him?
We're actually getting ready to do that tomorrow, man. So it's the Ducks and the Gymnasty Boys. You know, always in the car. We try to get other people to join us, and you know, it's a lot of crickets. You know, everybody wants to be pro wrestler, so it's time to be pro wrestler. You feel me? Nobody wants to get
I asked to get into the car one time. I do remember that one time I asked. I was like, "Hey, let me ride with you on this trip, on this 5-day stretch." And I do believe that y'all
goddamn big. You can't fit in the fucking car, huh? You too goddamn big. No, we need a minivan if you gonna come with us.
See, I was about to say, don't say people don't ask you. He told me, he was like, "No, Will, you can't fit in the car. I'm sorry. You can't go. Like, we have to rent a passenger van to get you in there."
Because, I mean, me and Timmy Lou, we got crammed in the back with all the damn gimmicks and bags and shit. And, man, it's tough, but, I mean, it's worth it at the end of the day. So, I mean, I love traveling with these guys. They call it doing the drives, but I do the sleeps, brother.
Yes, most of the time. We follow Lance Lude or Rob Killjoy's Twitter or Snapchat or even Facebook. You'll see countless pictures of you passed out in the back seat. But when you're not passed out in the back seat, obviously y'all are talking and stuff, man. What have you learned so far? Because Lance Lude, you know, is very accomplished, man. Former ROH wrestler, has traveled the world and stuff, wrestling and stuff. You know, Rob Killjoy's been wrestling for like 12, 13 years, and he's been doing a lot of traveling and stuff around the country. What do these dudes, what do these guys teach you and stuff and help you out with?
Man, everything. Those guys, those two are endless fountains of knowledge. So they're like our indie wrestling Yodas, you know. They have so much to offer, and you know, I mean, I like to joke around and sleep, but when we're awake, I mean, we talk about different things like what we want to do better in wrestling, or you know, merchandise wise, or you know, working on, you know, me and Timmy working as a tag team. Like, there's so much stuff And that's why, you know, when we try to offer guys spots, man, they need to take them. Because sometimes maybe I can't make it to a show. You know, somebody else could, you know, go and network and, you know, and just simply learn. Just simply ride and learn from Killjoy and Lance. Because they're just, like I said, an endless fountain of knowledge.
How much has networking, just jumping in the car with those three guys and stuff, how much has that helped you out as far as your career goes?
Oh, man, like, so much. Like, I love going to Rockstar Pro because, you know, in Dayton, Ohio. Great guys, great talent, great roster, great everything. They have a thing where, you know, if you come in the carload and we don't have a spot for you, you know, they say just let them hang in the locker room to, you know, to see how they act or, you know, how they respond to stuff. And it is so cool.
Now, you said that y'all are about to take a trip, and you guys do a lot of, you know, 4 and 5 day trips and stuff, man. What's some tips that you might have for a young aspiring wrestler who's trying to do the jobs? What's some of the tips that you've learned so far to make road life a little bit easier?
Something I wish, you know, somebody would tell me from the jump. It's just, you know, just don't be afraid to go out on a limb. Just be yourself. You know, somebody says, you know, blah, 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 you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Check that motherfucker's credentials. See where he's been, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just don't be afraid, you know, to just go out on a limb. That's what I would say.
Now, with all of you guys on the road for days at a time, I know that there has to be stories. There has to be ribs that pulled and stuff. What's one of the craziest stories, or just you know, one of those outlandish stories that you just have to be there because it's just too ungodly crazy to be true?
Man, I mean, I don't want to give our stories away, but anytime you're in a car where I feel like with the Ugly Ducklings or the Gymnastic Boys or, you know, with me in there, whatever, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be ridiculous. We try to have fun and just, you know, shoot the shit and be ridiculous. But, I mean, I would tell you a story, but, you know, I don't want to put anybody out there. You know, we got some crazy stories. I don't want to spill the beans on anybody.
You don't have to mention any names whatsoever. You just tell us the situation.
I mean, I'll tell you a situation where I'm not saying who, but, you know, maybe, you know, probably one of us, you know, had to be carried out of a building one time, drunk as hell. And, you know, you get outside and, you know, just kind of piss everywhere. And then you just, you know, you just kind of pee on yourself. You just kind of, you know, just kind of live your life. You just kind of live in your pee shorts and you keep it going, acting like you didn't pee yourself. And I'm not telling you who, but, well, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, WrestleMania weekend was a fun weekend. I will say that. But I'll tell you right now, I didn't pee myself.
Oh, well, obviously it wasn't Timmy Lou because Timmy doesn't drink unless it's root beer. And I can't imagine him pissing himself drinking ungodly amounts of root beer. So you say that you know you're the rat daddy, you know what I'm saying? You're the king of the rats. What area, what city has the best rats? Where can you find the best rats in wrestling?
Man, I think any damn rat with a big back can get it. That's in any zip code, Cuddy. I'll tell you right now. I ain't gonna lie. Florida has some bad biddies. Oh my goodness. We went to a Fest Wrestling not too long ago, man. I just wanted to slap backs all night. It was ridiculous with a capital dick.
Okay. So for our listeners who don't understand, what does slap backs mean?
That means push their damn ass to the back of their neck while you hitting it. That's what that means. So if you can't get it from that, then you better just fucking go to Pornhub and figure it out. Push that goddamn back to the back of their neck and, yeah, you know, just have them properly arch that back.
So, you know, you're having a great time, you know. Like I said, you're a 10-year overnight sensation. Let's put it like that. A 10-year overnight sensation. Traveling up and down with, you know, one of the most top, actually now the current NWA United States Tag Team Champions, the PWX, one half of the PWX Tag Team Champions, the longest reigning Gouge Heavyweight Champion. I mean, just the credentials are just crazy, man. What's next for White Mike? What do you have planned for next?
Man, I'm not sure because normally I'll just show up and whatever is laid out for me, I try to do to the best of my potential. You know, the other night I walked into PWX and soon as I got there, David Starr was like, "Hey brother, you're the Undertaker tonight." I was like, "What? Me? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna Ted Long's gonna do this, call you out, you're gonna be the Undertaker." I was like, all right. I'll make anything that's going to be work. And apparently I killed it.
Yes, you did.
Anchor lived. It was pretty ridiculous. I had a lot of fun. It was, I think it's 6,000 views one day? That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I say so. I think the first day that they released the video, so they had like 6,500 views in less than 24 hours.
And I meant that in no disrespect, because I love The Undertaker. So if he happens to hear this, my bad, Mark. I wanted to be Mean Mike Callis. They wouldn't let me do it. Mean Mike Callis.
That might be a gimmick, man. You might want to sit that. You might not want to say that one too loud. Somebody might take that. You know what I'm saying? You already know they like to steal you. You know they like to steal your moves, Mike. So
everybody stealing something from me. Terrible, man. Just be yourself. Be original. Damn. Come on, people.
The Workhorsemen. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Who are the official members of the Workhorsemen?
Oh my gosh, the Workhorsemen, the official members. Well, I'm not gonna say myself first, but you got the Ugly Ducklings, you got Ethan Case, Anthony Henry, James Drake, myself now, Timmy Lou Retton. I do believe Malachi Matthews is in it. Tracer X. Malachi's pending right now. He's on probation. He knows what he did. Just a lot of good people, man. If I'm forgetting somebody, I know I'm but a piece of shit. So, but I feel like I've named everybody. But man, it's just a group of great guys, man. Just going out there and giving it their all, no matter where they are on the card, and just busting their ass. And have been busting their ass for a long time. Just proving we belong.
Now I'm gonna ask you
about Coach Mikey. He's in there too. Sorry, Coach Mikey is definitely.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, I'll forget somebody, and then fucking they're like, "Oh, there goes White Mike, big league, and everybody."
Social media, man. And as we've seen the last couple of weeks, with the Randy Orton tweets and the Rip Rogers post on Facebook, and now everything with Jinder Mahal. How important do you think that social media is to a wrestler? And do you think that most wrestlers are responsible when it comes to utilizing their social media?
Man, I'm like the worst one to ask about that, man. Because you see my live videos on Facebook, all I do is cuss and reference shit I shouldn't reference. So I would say use it to the best of your abilities. But I've said a lot of shit in my Facebook videos, and I've actually got some quality bookings off that. So I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully, I would clean up. If I would do anything, I would probably clean up my language a little more, just because if there's kids watching.
I'm going to throw you a curveball. How do you feel about Jinder Mahal being the WWE World Heavyweight Champion?
I love it, man. He's never been WWE Champion, and he's getting his time to shine. Shit, there's a huge market in India right now. Like what, 1.8 billion people over there? Get your money, boo boo. Shit, hey, you gonna make that money? I think it's a great idea.
Now I know that time is really short with you right now, White Mike. But I've got to ask you and stuff. What do you have coming up?
Well, I got Rockstar Pro tomorrow. That should be fun in Ohio. Then Thursday we got IWA Mid-South in Indiana for Ian Rodden. Friday, just, gonna kick it cool, relax it by a pool. Saturday, we got Wrestling Revolver for Sami Callihan in Iowa. That should be fun. And right now that's on the list so far.
So how is it working for Ian Rodden? Of course, we've heard, there's mixed reviews when it comes to Ian Rodden. Some guys love him, some guys hate him, some guys get paid other times, some guys don't ever get their money. How's your experience been working at IWA Mid-South?
I can't complain. I've had some good matches there. Ian's been nothing but respectful to me, and I've been respectful to him. So I can't say anything bad about it. I've had a good time.
All right, one last thing. Go ahead and give out all of your social media to our fans and listeners so they can follow White Mike on his conquest of slapping backs and cashing checks and whatever with rats and shit.
All that hoopla. Yeah, man. I'm always taking bookings on my floor mattress. So if you ever see me around the way, hit me up and I'll lay some pipe down real quick. Always hit me up on Twitter. I do believe it's White Mike 011789. hit me up on Facebook. Just type in White Mike and you should be able to find that. And we got Gymnasty Boys on Facebook and Twitter as well. Like, man, it ain't hard to find me. I'm tell you right now. Once you find me, you gonna dig in and you gonna enjoy. And then when I find you, I'm gonna dig in and I'm gonna enjoy. Push that damn back to your neck, and then I'll probably never call you again.
Hey, so okay, you gotta let people know where can they get all of their gymnasty and White Mike merchandise, man. Where can we get the T-shirts, the 8x10s, et cetera, et cetera.
Man, we got oh my goodness, you hit us up on the merch stands whenever you see us. We got pre-order stuff like online. I got a PayPal account. Timmy Lee Renton's got a PayPal. Hit us both up. We got Gymnasty Boy T-shirts. I got the new Spirit Animal T-shirt about to drop. Just put in the order for that actually yesterday. So some things about to drop, and it's about to be hot in the streets.
Well, White Mike, once again, man, thank you for being a guest on tonight's show, man. Can't wait to see you, man.
I've been holding this shit in for the longest time, so I appreciate you.
It took us, it's really weird, man. It took this is the third week in a row we're trying to get you on the show to talk to you, and you keep canceling on, man. Go for the hot tag.
I canceled you one time. Man, I told Timmy I was going to save your ass at 9:19. You was going to call me. I was going to turn my phone off at 9:19.
See,
Timmy Lee Renton said,
hey. Is Tim there with you right now?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Jesus. Tell him I said what's up, man.
He said, what's up? He said, what's up, you dirty bitch?
Well, look, man, have fun this weekend, man. You guys be safe. Enjoy the trip to Idaho. Grab some potatoes and some French fries and stuff for the rest of us.
Fucking potatoes.
I don't know. Do people actually live in Idaho?
I'm sure. They got people out there, so I know they got some bitches with some big backs. So I'm going to be hitting them up.
Oh, shit. Well, you'll find out before I do, man.
Damn right.
Anyway, thanks for being a guest on our show, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Hope you have me back.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yeah, man. My check better be in the mail, Cuddy.
You got it, man. Wait for it.
One love. Peace and chicken grease.
Bye. Kev.
Wow. We ain't had some real talk like that in a while.
That's White Mike, man. If you meet him face to face, it's actually a little bit worse than that. I think he actually calmed himself down for the podcast. But he's a great guy, man. He's a character, though. He's definitely a character.
Indeed, he is in all sense of the word.
Do you think that he broke Rip Rogers' records? I don't know if he dropped the record or not. If he broke the record or not, that Rip Rogers set.
I don't think he did, but he's definitely number 2 on the list.
Definitely number 2. All right, man. Jesus, Lord have mercy. Anyway,
could you imagine the conversation them two could have if we put them both on the air at the same time?
Oh my! You should see both of them two in the locker room at the same time. They both worked a show at NWA Mid-Atlantic. We were all booked for NWA Mid-Atlantic, and it was some fan's birthday. And of course, in the South, they make you a cake for the fans, and the intermission they sing Happy Birthday. And the Gymnasty Boys were not there to sing this nice old lady Happy Birthday. And needless to say, kind of like, wrestling back in the 80s, if there's a cake outside, out in the ring area, somebody's going to wear it. By the time they got to the end of the song, this lady had cake shoved all the way up her nose. And then White Mike licked some of the cake off of her face.
Wow. The hell?
And that's those guys, man. That's White Mike, right? If you ever want a story about White Mike, that's White Mike. Smash a cake in a fan's face and then, lick it off. There you go.
You're supposed to smash the cake in the heel's face.
They're actually the heels. So if the heels have the cake, they're not going to put it in their own face.
Well, no, that's the baby face is supposed to come out and put it in their face. Or the fan is supposed to do it.
That did not happen. That did not happen that night. Trust and believe me.
Apparently strange things happen at an NWA Mid-Atlantic show.
Yes, strange things happen in the NWA Mid-Atlantic show. Speaking of strange things, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Junior tournament is still going on. Kev, have you kind of kept up with it? Have you watched any of it?
Honestly, I've not.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I got to catch up. Yesterday, I caught up with a lot of the wrestling that went on this weekend because I was on the road traveling. And of course, days 3 or 4 were pre-taped. So I still got a chance to watch them. As usual, always impressed with my homeboy ACH and his ability to get over with the crowd. Really impressed with Marty Skull and the Will Ospreay and Ricochet and stuff. No big, huge, in my opinion, it's not been like a really great standout match yet. But it's still early in the tournament. I think that as things get closer, we'll start seeing the really great matches. I still think that a lot of the guys are pacing themselves, because they know they have basically what amounts to 14 days of wrestling, which is one hellacious stretch. So, it's still good. I think you should catch up with it. Of course, there was Backlash.
Well, are you going to
Backlash was Backlash.
Are you going to come back on Thursday night AMP to talk about it?
Backlash or New Japan?
They'll probably cover both, but New Japan more than anything.
I would definitely love to be a guest on Thursday night AMP once again if they'll have me.
Okay,
I've
got an inside with the producer on that show. I think I can guarantee you a spot.
Oh, well, thank you. I have to come back up there and stuff and aggravate Abby some more. Mainly for the fact that she doesn't like my buddy Chase Owens, and she doesn't like Tanahashi's hair. Yeah, mainly because of those two things. I have to antagonize her every chance I get.
She's sometimes easy to antagonize.
Yes, she is. And it's so cool because, she's from the South, and I'm from the South, and she has that horrible, horrible Georgia accent, and I don't, fortunately. So, anyway, besides tonight and Thursday AMP, which we found out thanks to our great producer, Tilla Camp, that I will be a guest this Thursday night on Thursday night AMP. What else do we have coming on this week?
Just our usual lineup of shows. Glove Up or Shut Up on Wednesday night, talking everything in mixed martial arts. Thursday night AMP and Seth and Mike's Impact Implosion show. Ed and San Antonio's show on Friday nights as well. And as soon as we get off the air here, we're hopefully going to get ready to record another episode of the Raw Reaction.
Yay! This Raw was so awesome, I've heard. Well, this weekend, warming up for the summertime. This is my warm up for the summer. Memorial Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Friday night, I will be in Racine, West Virginia. East Bay, West Virginia, for Mega Pro Wrestling. They're having a fundraiser for the East Bank High School Athletic Department. Can't wait to see you. They usually always have a great time when I go to Mega Pro Wrestling and stuff. And then Saturday, I will be down in Georgia, doing some meet and greets and everything, for AWE, for Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, doing some meet and greets, talking to the fans, slapping hands and kissing babies, et cetera, et cetera. And then Sunday, making my debut, first time ever, I will be wrestling in the great state of Rhode Island for Pro V Wrestling. It's like a 12, from my house, it's like 15 hours. So I'm meeting up with some guys in Greensboro. It's like a 12-hour drive from Greensboro, North Carolina to Rhode Island. But I'm really super excited about that. Making my debut in Rhode Island and stuff. It's going to be completely awesome. Super excited. And then, of course, it's Monday, which is Memorial Day. Going to grill out with the family and stuff, visit some friends, talk to some old military buddies, et cetera, et cetera. Got any plans for Memorial Day, Cass?
I'm just chilling and grilling and watch me some Indianapolis 500 on Sunday and the Coca-Cola 600 later on, and that's about it.
Well, that sounds good. I don't really watch NASCAR. I have a bunch of friends who watch NASCAR, and they think being from Carolina, I would be a huge NASCAR fan, but I'm not. I will say to all of our listeners and fans, if you are a veteran of the armed forces, thank you for your service. We appreciate it. As a veteran myself of the United States Army, 6 years in the United States Army, it means a lot to me. I love this. I love my country. I'm very proud to have had the opportunity to serve my country in this country and abroad in several different countries and stuff. And I got to see the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out this weekend and stuff, don't forget to take a veteran. No matter what the political climate is, our veterans had nothing to do with that. These are our young men and young women and stuff who are going out there risking lives for our freedoms and stuff. And most importantly, for the freedom for me to do stuff like this podcast. So thank you to our armed forces and our services. Anything else you got left to say or do, Kev?
I think we're done tonight.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been the show tonight, the Wrestling Nerdcast. On behalf of the greatest producer of wrestling podcast history, Killer Kev, and on behalf of my homies and friends of the Wrestling Nerdcast, the Prophet Rick Craig, Drew Skills, Troy Miller, and my homeboy, the Bearded Wonder, Zane Paisley. I would like to thank our guest, White Mike, and I guess we could also say Timmy Lou Retton, for shouting us out and saying hey in the background. I guess we could say, Timmy Lou Retton was a guest also. I am the Worldwide Grand Prix champion, the WVCW Heavyweight champion, the Disrespectful Intellectual, the Southern Gentleman, the Incredible Hulk, Will Huckabee.